Welcome to the Wake Up Call podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet.
And I'm Ryan Van Fleet. Yes, it's me.
Yay! Well, this is going to be part 2 of the 14 years in business lessons that we did a part 1 podcast about 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
And that seems to be our cadence in conjunction with our schedule.
Yep, exactly.
That we get a podcast together every other week. And I guess that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in this world of a lot of content and people really not having the time to consume all the content that's out there. I know I have struggled with that over time. And we see that even in our educational piece of our sport fishing business, that people don't always have the time to watch all the videos right away. So there you go. So hopefully you listen to the other one. If not, circle back and listen to lessons 1 through 7. We talked about having a sense of curiosity. We talked about human design. We talked about our vision and our motto. We talked about trying things new fast and also exiting fast. We talked about seeing mistakes as lessons. And we talked about doing the work, the hard work, doing the reps, that things just don't come easily per se, that you actually have to put in the reps. So this one, we're going to kick off with one of Ryan's favorite topics, which is communication.
Yeah.
So number 8 on the list of really important things that you need to be successful in your life and business is communication, like it or not.
Right, exactly.
And this has been a journey for us. And I've learned a lot as a metaphysical business mentor that there is this really, really not so great thing that the majority of people have that isn't talked about enough, and that is resistance. And we have resistance in our field, which is actually the reason why things don't quote unquote manifest. But even before that, there's often resistance in your field to communication. And I wrote about communication in my first book, Confidence Mastery for Couples. But at the time, I didn't even understand what resistance was, because it's literally one of the biggest secrets out there that people really just don't talk about. So I don't know if they have resistance to talking about resistance, or they just don't really understand the concept of resistance, but you have to be able to get through the resistance to the conversation in order to have communication. And we have definitely learned this and worked on this over the past few years. This has been a major thing for us.
It's been major.
Because if you cannot have a conversation because there's fear around the conversation, like, you're going to go nowhere fast. Like, you're just going to be spinning your wheels, stuck in a corner. Things aren't going to move. You're going to have the same frustrations, like you're hitting your head against the wall. And it's going to lead you to that conclusion, is that you have some type of resistance to communication. You have fear around the communication, and you have to be able to figure that out in order to have the communication, because communication is literally everything.
Yes. 1,000%. That's been the biggest challenge for me. So for many years actually. So I do have to practice, have to work. It's like, even on my fishing charters, one thing, my biggest challenge on the fishing charters is when the fishing gets a little bit challenging, and I'm constant, like, you have clients that are asking questions, and you're trying to concentrate on tying a knot or trying to figure out where you're going to take them next, and then they just start, like, it's can get to be quite challenging. So, and those are things that I struggled with over the years. So I can honestly say that this year I've gotten a lot better at being able to handle scenarios and stuff, and through using the tools.
Yeah.
I'm still not perfect, but who is?
Yeah. So. No, it's a life journey. It's a life journey, and we're continuing to even understand that on a deeper level, which is something I would that's way too much for a podcast. It's more of a private coaching one-on-one thing to really break through a lot of this. But in general, it's been a huge win that we've moved from, I would say, the negatives to a really high number in terms of communication.
Yeah.
So we hope we inspire some other people out there
Yep.
to take that piece of their life seriously.
Yep.
And work through resistance and fear around that.
Right.
So,
yep.
awesome. So number 9, we definitely help each other and divide and conquer.
Yep.
And what I've seen over the years with other couples in business or people in general, for whatever reason, they get bitter about certain things. Like, oh, I always have to take out the trash. Things like that. I've definitely had clients over the years where they're bitter because they're the one that always has to like do the dishes, or they're the one that always has to make the dinner, or different things like that. And we don't do that.
Yeah, I think it just depends too. It's a lot of times when you do have stuff like that, it's like a deeper issue.
Yeah.
I found it's like, oh, you're not doing this, and what it really is just a deeper issue. So
and they're masking it with that.
They're masking it with, oh, he never takes out the trash, or he doesn't pick up his socks. That was always like the biggest thing with me in relationships, is that I never like, what do you expect me to do? Pick up after you? And it's like, well, no, that's just how I live. I just leave my socks on the floor. So I've had to learn that there's 2 people. So over the years, I do my best to pick my socks up off the floor. And sometimes I forget. So yeah, or sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I'll get them later. Or that's just always been me. I've done that since I was a kid, and I got my ass chewed out a lot for leaving my socks on the floor. And it's one of those things.
Yeah, we actually have that story of a sock story in Confidence Mastery for Couples. I didn't think you were going to go there today.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So it's the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
So
but you've gotten better, because I do remember, and it just feels like a long time ago, but when I was in sales and I would come home and the house would be, no, I don't want to say disaster, but just things more out of sorts. Over the years, you got really good at getting things into place, right?
Right.
Like making sure the dog is walked.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a big thing for me. It's like, I don't want to get out of the car after driving so many hours and have to take care of the dogs. Like, so you started to do that, and you still do that to this day. So I think little by little, that if there are things that bother you, like, and I mean you, audience, you, like, you just start to like work on them little by little.
Yeah, you work on them little by little.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Yeah.
So it's just the nature of how it works. So.
Yeah. But you give yourself some props.
Yep, I give myself some props.
You have. You've gotten like really, really helpful. This is something too, is we text each other. So back to the communication piece, like if Ryan is away or I'm away, like I'll text him and say, hey, I'm going to be home by 2:30. So then that kind of gives him the heads up that I'm going to be home, and he knows that if that's kind of when the dog should be going out, to take care of the dog. Like, he knows that now, and he does that. It's like, okay, great, I got Miracle out, so we just have that as communication in terms of that, with the expectations that go into the bucket of dividing and conquering.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
100%.
So yeah, and we do that. And I just did a video the other day. I made it a YouTube. It's also on my Instagram and Facebook, and I'm going to be chopping it up because it's such a great video, where I'm at the Inn of La Sur, and yeah, we got back from a charter late. You did, I should say, you did, on Wednesday night, and didn't have time, and you were exhausted to really clean the boat, and you were on the Good Karma on Thursday. So I went and cleaned the boat really, really well Thursday morning.
Yep.
Actually, it was amazing. I loved it. I did a whole video about it. It was great. So
yeah.
And I went at 6:00 in the morning, and I was done by like 9:30.
Yeah, cleaning.
It was great.
Yeah, there's just something.
Amazing.
Honestly, there's all these different things out there you could talk about, but really, when you have a boat, sometimes cleaning, people just like to clean the boat.
Yeah.
Too, because it is very therapeutic for people. It's like, it's something that you don't know until you have that. So it's just something
Yeah.
about boat ownership.
Yeah. So
So
that piece of dividing and conquering was actually incredible in terms of like clearing my mind. And I said in my video too that I listened to something really amazing on YouTube that's helpful for me, for you, for
yeah,
our business, for my clients. So that was really cool too. So I loved that.
yeah,
All right. Number 10, organized.
yeah. I'm getting there. Some days.
You know what's so funny is when I was in sales, I was always given the compliment that I was very organized. And I never fully felt that I was, but was organized enough to get the job done quickly and easily for my clients because they were always very busy. So there was no time to like waste for them, nor for myself because I was on the road as a road rep. But I would never say I was like perfectly organized. It just seemed like I was. And I also realized that I probably was heads and tails above other sales reps
Yep.
who likely were not organized. So
Mm-hmm.
even just being like a little bit more than the next person is a win, in my opinion.
Right. 100%.
A little bit more. So
Little bit more.
whatever it is, so even if you look at this topic of organized, like I was just a little bit more organized likely than the other sales reps in my territory. So where can you just be like a little bit more than, let's say, the competition?
Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
And that little bit more compounds.
Yep.
Right? So you do that. So yeah, someone could look around this office right now and say it looks like a hurricane hit it.
Yeah.
But you're always working on what's next.
Yep.
So you're a little bit more
Mhm.
than the competition, right?
Yep. 100%.
So you're organized in your mind. I know what
In
you're
my
doing.
mind,
I know what
yeah.
you're up to.
In my mind, yeah. In my mind, yeah.
In your mind, you're organized. And sometimes that's it too. Like, are you organized in your mind? And maybe then because your surroundings aren't completely organized in the 3D every moment of the day, does that lead you to overwhelm? Does that lead you to doubt yourself? Like, these are just aspects of organization, because sometimes I know people can get some anxiety or overwhelm about the word organization if they don't feel that they're organized. But I've always learned that kind of having a desk with piles of paper is more productive for me than if I put things in drawers and appear to be organized. So use your judgment and do some contemplation on that. That's some conscious awareness for you. But I would challenge somebody if they were like, oh, you need to have like a completely spotless desk to be successful. That's not what we're saying. So just know that.
Right.
All right. 11. This is one of my favorites. I would rather be respected over liked. Ryan Van Fleet.
Yeah. That's been a tough road for me. So
Share about that.
I think that there was a journey of like knowing that I felt like I needed to be liked more, and then what I found was that I was just getting run over by folks that like. So it's just it's a very long story, and I don't really want to get into it. And then so now I'm finding the balance between
That's
respect
good
and
idea.
liked. Yeah.
Balance. That's good. That's good.
It's a good balance. It's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a challenge. I've had to realize the folks that were doing it and like what was happening, and but yeah. So there's a good balance. You have to find it. I have found like I'm working on finding that balance, and I'm working at it every day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So for me, when I was in sales, I remember hearing from one of the vice presidents. Well, I heard what she thought of me through actually a sales manager. And the sales manager was like, she doesn't like you, but she respects you. And I was like, well, I'm fine with that. I don't need to be her best friend.
Yep.
But to be
Yep.
respected in what you do and how you show up and how you work with the clients and
Yep.
work with the vendors. And there are so many aspects to what I did as a sales rep. It wasn't just this easy thing. I would much rather be respected than liked.
Yeah.
So I think that that's just something for people to think about if they're worried and sitting in some type of mud soup about people liking them, or even social media wise, like likes on a post doesn't mean someone's buying from you. So that means nothing. Likes on a post mean nothing. And quite frankly, I don't even think the algorithm is like that, people viewing you and holding on your post, I think is important for algorithm. But anyhow,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I would just challenge that if someone's stuck again in some type of mud soup on trying to be liked, then that often goes back to some type of confidence, some lack, some fear, and that all of that in your field will not be helpful to you on this journey.
Hmm.
So,
Right, exactly.
all right, number 12, intuition, one of my favorite topics.
Hmm. Intuition.
Ryan is highly intuitive, as and
Yep.
all of us are intuitive. It's just a matter of you using your gifts. Are you using your intuitive gifts? And in this world that's getting more dense and more overconsumption, and people are more confused, because that's what it does, it just causes confusion in the field. People are losing sight of the fact that they actually are super intuitive, and they're looking outside of themselves for answers, and that's just not always necessary.
Exactly. Not always necessary.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so use the force.
Yeah. Use the force.
And this is what I help people with specifically as a mentor. And if you get this, you get it. If you don't get it, you probably should. And if you're interested in working together, you can go to my website, melindavanfleet.com, and see the options.
Yep.
So, number 12, reframing mistakes as lessons.
Yeah, that's actually helped me out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would beat myself down a lot with people and conversations, and there was a lot. It's just a tough gig when it comes to that. So, especially just people that have come into my life personally. I can't speak for anybody else, but I've had a lot of overly aggressive folks, and I've had incidents where I've had to, like, hey, don't mess with me, or just stuff, and then I would feel bad, and then over the years I just, like, hey, I just reframe the situation. So, yeah, it's just the nature of it's just, it happens. It happened. I wish I would have learned that many years ago. It would have really have helped me. So, learning that the mistakes are lessons, in order to, like, I'll make some mistakes. Like, I've made so many mistakes, but now I look back at them and I was like, oh, well, if I didn't make that mistake, I wouldn't have got here. So, yeah. So reframing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I wrote about reframing in Confidence Mastery for Couples if someone wants some more context. But being able to reframe has a lot to do with conscious awareness. So are you aware of what you're saying, whether it's inside your head or out using your voice? And nothing is bad. So the universe has never deemed something good or bad. It's us humans that put judgment on something, whether it's a person, a situation, something else that happened. It could be money, it could be something in your business, it could be where you live. So nothing is bad. It's only the human that has put judgment on the actual thing, let's say.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who is constantly looking at everything as negative or something's going wrong, well, first of all, stop, have conscious awareness to stop that and reframe it. You can always look on the sunny side. I know that sounds super cheesy and people can roll their eyes, but whatever, you're the one that's going to actually then have law of attraction work for you in a negative way. That is what happens. In a negative way, law of attraction will work for you that way too. So, people use the words law of attraction or manifest like that's all good. No, it can go the other way too. So if you're constantly talking about how everything's bad and it sucks, and this is bad and this was bad, and the restaurant and this and that, the place you're staying or whatever, the line at the grocery store, everything's bad, well, you're just going to keep bringing more bad things. That's literally how it works. So if you get in a conscious state to reframe things. And, if it's as simple as, yeah, there was a lot of traffic, however, I got here safely, right? You could start with something so small like that. That will start to at least move you in the right direction, because too many people are focusing too much on the negative, and you don't even need to do that. You can always make it positive. And if someone doesn't agree with what you're saying, well, I don't know. I don't really care what those people say. I'm beyond caring what anyone else says anymore. I really don't care, because I've had too many not so great influences in my life. And, I'm grateful that my awareness is at a different level to see where they're at and be like, okay, I really just don't want to even associate with you anymore. So,
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the same boat.
mm-hmm.
I'm in the same boat.
Yep. So some people, this may be more work than just hearing this. You might have to listen to it again. And again, it's practice. It's a muscle. You have to constantly practice this. Yep. Practice. And basically, so you can recode yourself. That's practice. Just like you are a basketball player shooting free throws. It is the same thing. Practice until you do not act like that anymore. And then life will change.
Yep.
That is really just the bottom line truth. All right. And number 14, woohoo, what do we always do?
Gratitude. Gratitude. Yeah. I may get tired of hearing about it, but
he does get a little annoyed with me sometimes.
I do have, sometimes I may seem a little irritated, but I do get it. Mm-hmm. So I just get tired of hearing things. Mm-hmm. It's just in my nature. It's like I don't like to hear things on repeat when it's like I don't like watching the same shows. I like doing something different when I go fishing. It's the same thing, but it's deep in my soul, I know. Yeah. So, yeah.
We give gratitude many times throughout the day. We do it as a set point. It is not as a prayer asking for help. It is basically a set point, energetic, and all the time.
Yep. 100%.
All the time. Before we started recording this podcast, we said thank you that this podcast, that we have this opportunity to share this with people, and that people can choose to listen and hopefully be helped. And we're thankful for the opportunity of podcasting. Yep. That we can do this, because heck, I didn't invent podcasting, or Libsyn or GarageBand or Apple or Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're hearing this. I mean, that's all amazing platforms that are out there for all of us to be able to take advantage of, to consume content in a positive way. So we're grateful for that. So we're just we're grateful that you're here listening. So yeah, exactly. The more you can just naturally live in gratitude without trying, is also a really good thing. Yep. And if you're ever frustrated or annoyed or angry, switching to be grateful for something is a huge game changer, and just an amazing tip that, again, another eye roll. Most people know this, but don't do it. And it's just an easy way to shift your energy. If you're angry or pissed off, go open your eyes, literally open your eyes and look around and find something to be grateful for. Yep, 100%. You can find something. You can find something to be grateful for. Yep. And we have done this over time, over the years, many, many, many times. We've talked about it a gazillion times before, and it's still our number one go-to. So 1,000%. That's how we're closing out these 14 lessons for 14 years in business. Yep. Love it. Yeah. Awesome. Anything else you want to say, Capt? Nope, I don't. Just in summary, go back, re-listen again, and we packed a lot in. Hopefully this is really helpful. Take some notes like I do, and anytime you're fishing, it's all good. Yeah. So how can they contact you? You can reach me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com, Instagram, goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys, and my website, goodkarmasportfishing.com. Awesome. And I am on Instagram, Melinda_Van Fleet. I'm pretty much on every platform, but Instagram is primary, and Patreon. We both have Patreons that I will put in the show notes, and my website is melindavanfleet.com. So again, we're grateful that you're here. Please share our podcast and help more people out there. I think the world needs more and more positive influences, and not people getting sucked into goofy stuff on the internet that is nothing they can ever control. Yep, exactly. That's so silly.
Yeah, it's so silly.
So I know Ryan already said anytime you're fishing, that's all good. So we, again, say thank you so much. Until next time, bye for now.